my good side?
Thank you, Greg Gouillart. Great to be with the legendary radio broadcaster, Mike Morin. Great to be with you again, Mike.
Thank you for having me. It's great to watch all this fabulous bowling. I love the Big 20. I have some stories to share over the next several matches.
And may I also mention author Mike Morin as well.
That's true. I do it all. I clean the toilets. Whatever you need me to do, Paul, I'm here to do it, pal. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks for having you. Let's talk to the bowlers. Deb Desrocher here.
Yeah, let's talk to Deb, who is our number 4 seed. Deb and I go way back. In fact, as I look around, you and I are the 2 senior members of this crew.
Yes, we are.
But does all that experience kind of help to keep you calm? Because I mean, when you look at the ladder, I mean, there's some pretty good firepower there.
3 times Shannon's age, so yeah.
Well, that makes me 4 times, all right. welcome to the Big 20
Welcome
today.
to the club. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mario Johnson, number 5 seed. Mario, you're both terrific. 553 qualifier. Won a lot of championships, ISBA championships, all kinds of titles. Tell the viewers one of your favorite bowling moments of your career.
One of my favorite moments is actually winning the Ladies International with my oldest daughter, Sonia.
All right, good luck today. So it's a 3-string format, 2 blocks at a time. Mike Morin will be with you commentating. Prize money today, $1,200 for first place, $800 for second. Third is $450. Fourth is $350. Runner-up is $200 for 5th place today. $25 in bonus money for 3 marks in a row and consecutive marks after that. $25 for each string 1. $100 at $400 and $500 for a triple strike. Let's get underway here at the Big 20 in Scarborough, Maine.
Thanks so much, Paul, and hello to everyone watching live on Candlepin Bowling Network and on WON Media Network in New York and across the country. If you're new to Candlepin Bowling, it scores just the same as big ball bowling, except that you get 3 small balls instead of 2 big ones, and the pins on the plate stay on the plate and can be used as live wood.
Mario Johnson, number 5 seed, will lead off on lane 2, using lanes 2 and 3. Again, welcome those to the WON Sports Network. Special shout out to Jonathan Rios of WON Sports. And those on Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, free on YouTube, Candlepin Bowling Network, your home for all things Candlepin Bowling on YouTube, Candlepin Bowling Network. Mario Johnson, head pin, called the hay bale, the pack of 5. Good second ball, spare to start the match.
That is a great start. And at some point, when we have a moment, I will share the story of why Marion is called Mario. Or maybe you know that already.
I don't know the actual inside story.
Really?
Inquiry minds want to know.
Well, if you take a look up on the scoreboard that's here at the bowling center that folks at home can't see, you see her name is Mario, M-A-R-I-O. Her real name is Marion, but the scoreboard only has room for five places. So the end doesn't get put on. So she does that on her shirt, too.
Okay. 7 in the spare, 17 through 1 in the first of 3 from the beautiful Big 20 in Scarborough, Maine. 2. 1, 2, 7, spare chance, won't go. 1 for 2 in the head pin. Average pro bowler is about 120. Women's between 100 and 117. Right now, 10 from Johnson. 27 through 2. Mike Morin, tell us about your radio days.
Radio days, well, 52 years. You don't have time in the whole show. But it began in northern Michigan when I was 19, 20 years old, and I just never stopped.
That was after the Ice Age, right?
Pretty much, yeah. There were woolly mastodons running around Michigan where I lived.
Here's Deb Desrocher.
That's not a fun one.
She won the women's doubles event, Bob, with Glennis, McKinley. What a thrilling match that was. Watching on Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube.
Oh!
Triangle, got 1. 6-9 right, 4-7 left. Nice out, 8.
That was a great out. Tough start. She's already behind the 8 ball by 9 pins, but a mark will bring her right back up with Mario/Marion.
So tell the viewers, you're from Detroit. You're a 10-pin bowler? And
I was. I knew nothing about candlepins when I moved here in 1984 to take a radio job in Boston. And when I turned on the TV in the hotel one morning at noon, I saw this game called Candlepins, and I about fell over because I said, what the heck is this? If you never saw it before, it's quite different from 10 pins, of course.
Deb in the hole. She has the 2-4 on the left, the 6 to the right. 2 for 2 in the head pin. That's a good sign. Nice out, 9. 17 through 2, down 10 in the first of 3 from Scarborough, Maine.
Well, she's pinning well. She confessed to having some nerves as we started, but she looks pretty steady out there, just hasn't had the pinfall yet.
I'm sure talking to you helped her calm her nerves.
Yeah,
More so than me.
I've known her for a long time. She used to work at Park Place Lanes where I bowled on Wednesday nights.
Mario Johnson in the pocket. This is a tough lead, the 5-7-10. Good grief.
Well, you talk about 10-pin bowling. If ever you leave that in 10-pin, you get laughed out of the bowling center. You shouldn't do it.
Matt Susi made the show without wood in the Sunday Pro League last season.
Wow.
So I call it the Susi Special. Missed right.
Hoping to clip the pin over on the right and then swing it back over to the 10-pin. Maybe 7-pin. Might have taken out the 5, but I don't think so.
Chops out the 5 for an 8. 35 through 3. First of 3 strings. The winner to face number 3 seed out of the Big 20, Shannon Scribner, one of the top female bowlers in Maine, followed by Glennis McKinley, the number 2 seed, part of Deb Desrocher's women's doubles winner last September in extra lanes.
And that was an exciting match. Boy,
Yes, it was. Right down to the last box.
Thought you were going to lose your voice with all the wows.
Oh, yeah. And Amanda Carroll, the number 1 seed out of the Big 20, here the number 1 seed we'll see later today and later on WN Sports Network. Mario has the 1-3-7-10. Try to split the uprights, went outside. Got all but the 3-pin.
So I'm trying to decide if we should be calling her Mario or Marion. I think I'm going to go with
We'll call her
Marion.
Mario.
Do you?
Nice.
Is that typically what you call her?
Call her Mario, yeah.
Okay. And she seems okay with it if that's on her shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said, I know your name is Marion. You couldn't afford the N for the last letter on your shirt?
We're
You know?
spoiled, Paul and Mike. Paul Grant, Mike Morin, easy names.
Exactly.
10 for Mario, 45 through 4. Deb Desrocher in the pocket,
Oh!
8. A Woodling 4 to the left, 8 to the right. Wood off to the right. 3 for 3 on the head pin.
And the wood should not get in the way, although it could.
For a spare. Missed it right, at least up to 4.
Looking for her first mark of the day. And, of course, we have lots of bonus money, Paul, should anybody put a few marks together.
$25 for 3 in a row. She hits a 9.
Memories of the old Channel 5 show.
26 through 3. They did $50 back then in the old Channel 5 dolls. But
Was it 50?
yeah, not shrinkflation nowadays.
It's like buying cereal at the store. Everything's smaller, but you think it's the same.
Including the paychecks.
Yeah.
3-2 split for Desrocher again on the head pin. The 2-4-7 on the left, the 6-10 on the right. Not an easy shot.
Spread eagle minus the 1 pin.
She's down 9 right now, going to this 4th box. Candlepin we call it a box, 10 pin they call it a frame. Same thing basically.
Yeah, essentially.
3 balls versus 2. Play the wood when it falls down. It makes some more interesting shots. And some frustrating doinks. Nice pinning, 9. 35 through 4, down 10.
Her pinning is excellent, keeping her in this match. She's just 10 pins behind Mario Johnson, who is the 5th seed. She had 555 in the qualifying round, 8 pins behind the 4th seed, Deb Desrocher.
45-year-old on lane 2 here in Scarborough. From Exeter, New Hampshire, originally Barrington, New Hampshire. Has the 1, 3, 8, and 10. 2 pieces of wood. Mike, how are you playing this shot?
I think I'm going right on the head pin, slightly to the right, hoping that the 3 takes out the 10.
For a spare, outside.
See, she didn't listen to me. You know, it
you
happens all the
you
time.
forgot to mic her up. Where's the Bluetooth, Mike? Come on.
The Bluetooth. Oh, I did. Well, you're an old Radio Shack guy from way back, probably pre-Bluetooth days, though, huh?
Yeah. 9.
Well, that was a great
54
job.
half. Yeah, 31 years, 9 days at Radio Shack.
How long?
31 years and 9 days.
I thought that's what you said. 31 years and 9 days.
Yeah, I always say 9 days too. Everybody gets a kick out of that. Mario in lane 3, starting her second half of the first of 3. First of 4 matches today. Half Worcester. This is my least favorite shot, half Worcester. Named after Greg knows the story. Greg can share that story with us.
The bowling match.
So it goes. There was a Boston team and a Worcester team, and one time the Worcester bowler made that punch out, and one of the Boston bowlers jeered, "You're halfway back to Worcester."
And that name kind of stuck, so they call it the half Worcester, which is the 2-8 or the 3-9 or the 1-5 center Worcester. And that's a Paul Grant shot right in the hole.
What are the chances she puts it in the hole again?
And she ends up with a 6, making a 7.
A respectable out.
61 through 6, and Deb has the door open. Needs to mark the tie or take the lead. Again, $25 for each string they win, so they win a chance whether they win the match or lose the match, get some money. Parallel pins, 1, 5, 2, 8. Back right is the 9.
You need a little luck on that one. She's got just a bit of a right to left hook on her ball. And she's going to, just leaves the 1 pin.
Deb, very young, 67 years old. 9.
Remember, Deb, he's the one that said your age, not me, although I am older than you.
44 through 5. Right now down 10 in the string. It's a 3-string total, no points involved.
You know, she's got all 9s except for the first box when it was 8.
And she has what they call the Coleri, after Bob Coleri. Tell us a story about that, if you know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I bowled with Bob on the amateur candlepin tour many years, but I don't ever remember why this was named after him.
You got that leave a lot, made it a lot, and wrote a lot about it. She has the 1, 7, and 9. A lot of nicknames. I have some of my own nicknames I made up also. We'll talk about during the show. Deb an 8. 52 through 6. Down 9 in the first of 3.
Well, she is pinning well. She is still within striking distance or sparing distance, but she does need a mark, or she has no chance to win probably with 4 boxes to go.
Candlepins for Cancer is a 501c3 charity to help donate. Candlepins number 4 cancer.com. Candlepins number 4 cancer.com. Any amount, $1 up to $1,000, whatever you can afford. If the lottery, whatever you can afford, Candlepins number 4 cancer.com. We appreciate your generosity. Mario Johnson looking at the 1, 3, 4, 7 left. Goes outside, got the 3.
Shannon Scribner, definitely a favorite here in Scarborough. This is her home bowling center, and she has quite a ball. I watched some of the matches of past weeks on the doubles, and man, she fling it.
That's one of those shots, the 1, 4, 7. Do you go for the 3 or do you go for the 2? And like me, making my mind, I put it in the middle.
Right.
7 box, 68 through 7 for Mario Johnson. Crossing over the head pin. In New York, they call it the Brooklyn side, or in 10 pin. That's a diamond. Based on Candlepin Bowling Network stats, these convert 27% of the time for pro bowlers that would.
I love those stats that you give. Where do you?
Bob Lee gets a lot of those. A lot of research from Channel 5
Did that
shows.
you just pulled that out of your head, didn't you?
No, I get it from Bob Lee, the executive producer of Candlepin Bowling Network, who's away having a family get together today. Mario, the 3, 6, 8, 76 through 8.
Well,
started off with a spare 7, open since.
She is leaving the door open for Deb Desrocher right now. She just needs to throw a hammer or at least a spare with a good fill, and then we've got a tie match into the final 2 boxes.
Love Deb Desrocher's spirit, too, in the lanes.
I do, too. All right,
well, that ball would behind the sleeper pins. That's the pins in back.
I think that wood helps on that shot in there.
Helps the back pins for sure. And she hooked it right.
Missed the object pin. Missed everything.
She's got to stop watching my videos. Looking for a big out here.
That's much better.
Not bad, 8.
Yeah.
Left up the 2 and the 8. 60 through 7, down 8. Chipping away slowly but surely.
Time, though, is running out.
Now, Mike, I got one thing over you that you don't have. I mean, you got 52 years in the radio. I got 3 years of Natick High football and a sports talk show I did in the 80s, Natick.
Wow.
3. I got the last strike on Candlepins for Cash with Bob Gamere in 1980.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Before Rico Petrocelli took it over, right?
Yeah, this was the original show and off the air. Yep, and he came back on the fall.
So you got the last strike.
Yep.
And what did you win for that?
$1,220. I got half of it. I did all the work. I got half the money. The pin pal got the same money. I got $610.
And I bet you still have that $610.
No, that was gone.
That's gone?
I bought my first stereo system with that one. from
And you
High
could.
Five Buys,
Back in those days.
Swampscott, Mass, next to Salem, Mass. Deb, nice out, 9. That's a big out.
And she is
Chance
still
on the pin, down 7, 76-69. 2 boxes to go in the first of 3.
Well, Mario is waiting for her, that's for sure. She can put it away, though, with a mark here and a good fill.
111 high average right now, high single of 192 on the head pin, 2-2 split.
But it is a 3-game match, so it's a marathon and not a sprint.
And here's one of my nicknames. I call this a banana split. You take a big knife, you chop the banana in half, one goes left, one goes right. So I call it the banana split.
Is that because of the wood that's down there, or
No, just
in
the 2-2,
general?
general.
You know what it's called in 10-pin?
No.
The double pinochle.
That's right, too. I think banana split sounds better. My biased opinion.
Anything that we can work food into, I'm on board with you for that, Paul.
Sorry, it's only the first string, Mike. You have to wait till the end of the third string. 9 bucks, 85 through 9. Just an honor to work with you, Mike. A treat, a dream come true for me to work with you today.
Well, thank you very much.
Mario crossing over, 5. That's called a hay bale. Basically a diamond plus the 10.
A hay bale?
They call it a hay bale.
Wow.
I don't know why, but they do.
Alfie Johnson probably knows.
I read that online a few times, but when you read it at 2 or 3 in the morning, you don't retain it. Nice ball. It won't carry to the 6 and 10. Since that opening spare 7 opened since then. Will not crack the century mark. Off the wall, pretty 10. 95 first string.
Deb, however, can crack the century mark. She'll need 2 marks to do it. And 1 mark to keep it even and perhaps win that $25 first game prize.
She was almost 70 pins over average in the qualifier, 563 qualifier with a 98 average, number 4 seed. Mario, the number 5 seed. Shannon and Scribner, next match will bowl the winner. Went left, now goes right, has the 1 and the 9. She could do it with 1 mark. She'll get 9. 78 through 9. Again, slowly inching away. Down 7 right now, 85-78.
Needs a mark in 8 to win this match. At least the first one. Put her in a good position for the next 2. She's hanging around.
In the pocket, looks good. Oh, you'll be kidding me. The 5-7-10 Susie special, I call it. After Matt Susie, who's the winner of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour Pro Division Championship last year, not Class A.
And you name that after him?
Yeah, well, other people have made it, but he made it without a wood on a spare for a spare in Exeter, the Pro League last season. So I call it the Susie special. Now it's the Woolworth discount, the 5 and 10. Back in your day, Bob, it was 5 and 10 cents backed up items in the stores.
Oh!
9. So Mario Johnson takes the first string, 95 to 87, wins it by 8 with 2 strings to go. Paul Grant, special guest commentator Mike Morin and Greg Gouillart on Candlepin Bowling Network and the WON Sports Network. We'll be back with our second string in just a moment.
Get my notes
So for the
out of
live
here.
stream, we'll keep it here. So just so you know, we've got 4 great matchups coming up in the schedule you see in the description below. We've got Shannon Scribner 573, Glennis McKinley 603, and Amanda Carroll 614. Would have qualified twice if that were a thing. And statistics for the first string, you saw the 1 spare there. That's 7 pins in hand for Mario Johnson, and it held out at 8 pins because Mario left 12 pins on the plate, and 13 pins were left on the plate by Deb Desrocher.
Thanks, Greg Gouillart. All right, we're ready to start our second string here. Deb Desrocher. Mario will lead off this string. Deb will lead off this string. It should be on lane 3, I believe. Mike, tell us some stories about your radio day.
Well,
You're an author also.
you know, there have been so many things over 52 years. I put it into a book called 50 Shades of Radio. True stories of a morning guy being wired, tired, and fired. You like that title? And in that, having my life threatened a number of times, pulling a few pranks over the years. I'm probably best known for the tall ships prank that I pulled back in 2000 when I worked at WHOB in Nashua.
Mario 9 in that first ball. The kingpin for spare. Missed it right. Not by
Ouch.
much.
So what happened essentially is I I announced one morning that one of the tall ships came up the Merrimack River and docked at the Songus Arena because people were tired of driving into Boston with all the traffic in Charlestown to actually see it. So I said, well, one of them came up the Merrimack River in Lowell. Of course, that's impossible. There's like 15 bridges, and the water is pretty shallow. And apparently it got back to the newspaper, and...
Another good hit there. Sorry, Mike. 2-4 spare leave. Now, the last one was I call a Paul Grant special. You miss the second shot, you make the third for a 10.
That would have been a nice 8 fill on that spare that she barely missed. That one will she'll see that one in her sleep.
For a spare. Bang! Second spare of the match. 20 to ball through 2 for the number 5 seed, Mario Johnson.
So anyway, as it turns out, the local newspaper picked up on it. The station announced that I would be suspended for a day. And a number of people protested it. One guy dumped 500 bags of Salada tea in the parking lot, as in a Boston Tea Party protest. That made the paper. And, of course, it was all just crazy fun on my part, but one thing led to another.
Deb has the 1, 2, and 4. Lost the first 95-87.
Do you have a name for this spare leave?
He's got about 51% without wood for pro bowlers, 2-pinners and 3-pinners. Stats, again, by Candlepin Bowling Network.
There's a nice shot.
10. So staying box to box, 10 to 10, but up against a spare.
Well, that's her first 10 of the day, I think, as I recall.
Just off to the right, there's the Caleri leaf. 1, 2, 4, 7, and the 9. One piece of wood to play. It's one good thing you like about Candlepin Bowling, playing that wood. It can hurt you and help you.
Yeah, when you think you've got it, you don't.
Nice bid, won't go.
Another inch or two over to the left may have brought it in for her.
Yeah, Mario had 3 10 boxes. Deb didn't have any, like you said. Trying to get at least 2 here. And gets 1 for an 8, 18 through 2. Down 2 in the string, 10 of the match. And Mario Johnson will add to that lead, working on a spare on lane 2 here at the Big 20 in Scarborough, Maine, on Candlepin Bowling Network and the WON Sports Network. CandlepinsForCancer.com to donate. Candlepins with a 4, cancer.com.
This is really one of the great legacy bowling centers in the state of Maine. It opened by the Anton family in 1950.
Mario on the spare 7 has the 3, 5, and the 10, 27 through 2. Up 9 in the string, 17 in the match.
So that's a great fill. Not an easy shot to make.
Oh, what a shot! Wow! A spare! That's a tough shot, like Mike said. 37 the ball through 2 here in the second of 3 from Scarborough.
And it's taken this long to get our first wow out of you today, I think, Paul.
I say it too much, I'm told, so I toned it down a little bit.
You don't have to. Come on. You're making money for Candlepins for Cash selling the WOW T-shirts.
Yeah, every WOW shirt we sold, over 300 shirts sold. $10 for each shirt goes to Candlepins for Cancer.
All right, this is a $25 shot, right?
Yeah, if you get 3 in a row, it's worth $25 in bonus money. 5 on the fill, 42 through 3. Missed outside, has the 1 and the 8. And Al Johnson saved some money. Al Johnson went bankrupt last match, I think, you know. Scott Lapierre ran the ladder from 5 all the way to 1.
Wow.
Mario, 9. Strong start, 51 through 4 here in the second. And Deb Desrocher, part of that inaugural women's doubles event winner with Glennis McKinley, the number 2 seed, we'll see later today and later on.
That was a nail-biter. It'd be interesting to see those two up against each other.
They'll defend their title next September 9th.
She's not going to get there, though, if she doesn't start putting some marks up on the board.
Great crowd on the hand here at the Big 20 in Scarborough, and beautiful Scarborough, Maine Big 20. Great owner Mike Walker, also the president of the Maine Candlepin Bowling Association. 2 in the 6. Beyond easy shot, got the object pin.
I think Walker bought this from the Anton family shortly after getting out of college, so this is really the only main way that he's made a living, you know, as an adult.
Yeah. He's one of the best owners by far.
Fabulous guy. And the Anton family, of course, built quite a legacy as well. Chris Anton, who I knew from the ICBA days, the man who had the best perpetual tan of any human being I've ever seen.
10 box, 28 through 3. Looking for a mark. Has a triangle. It's the 2, the 4, and the 5. These go about, without wood, about 45% of the time for pro bowlers. Stats provided by Candlepin Bowling Network. Like, share, subscribe. Free on YouTube. Candlepin Bowling Network.
This is probably the most makeable spare.
What'd you say, Mike?
I was going to
Announces
say.
jinx. Right? 0 for 1. 0 for 1.
Sorry, Deb.
Good thing she's not mic'd up. And she'll get 9. 37 through 4, down 14 in the string, 22 in the match, plenty of time left.
Hey there, Paul. Just wanted to give a lesson to the new people at Candlepin Bowling on how to read the score sheet. We got our new vertical frame-by-frame score sheet. Anything with a black smudge there you see is a spare. 2 smudges mean a strike. And the X means 10, not a strike.
Thank you, Greg Gouillart.
A little extra zip on that ball. Didn't really help her, though, did it?
3, 6 on the right, 7 on the left. No wood, no luck. Great effort.
She was telling you as we opened up today's show that she won a tournament with her daughter, one of the biggest thrills in her career.
Yes.
The Ladies Invitational Team Tournament back in 2016 in Augusta. Her daughter was 18. They won the tournament as a team, she and the other woman and her daughter. And she said she was very emotional to have done that with her daughter.
9 blocks, 60 halfway through her match. Mario in the pocket, 8. 4 in the 7. Wood coming out of play.
Nice, clear shot.
Her daughter and her always tease each other on the lanes. They always try to outdo each other and then razz each other a lot. It's a lot of fun to watch. For a spare, missed it left. Bowlers want all those shots. It looks simple. Just go 50% of the time. 10. 70 through 6. Strong start here in the second. Overall, 3 spares in the match.
She was the 1997 Rookie of the Year. One of her many, many accomplishments. All right, so it's Deb Desrocher up on
With the wood to clear
lane
out.
2. Yep.
And Mario can't get overshot it. She
There
goes
we
on the
go.
hand. She's a character. Very vocal in the audience, too. All right, Deb Desrocher back to live action on lane 2 here in Scarborough. Nice ball. 9. 9 pin left up. Great chance for her first mark of the match.
Is the wood frozen? That's the big question, because there's a big margin of error if it is touching.
Tip left. Did she get it? Oh, so close. That's a shot you want back. That's when you want the flux capacitor.
The who?
The flux capacitor. Go back in time, like Back to the Future.
There it is. So easy on the second try, isn't
That's
it?
the Paul Grant special. Miss the second, make the third for a 10. So you got a couple of my nicknames down now.
Yeah, I'll have to try to remember that if you have me back.
They're not worth anything. 47 ash down, 13 in the string, 21 in the match. Head pin again, diamond.
I'll tell you one thing I like about Deb Desrocher. She's a fan of Yellowstone. You ever watch that show?
I have not. You have to watch what the missus likes to watch,
And what
No, I
is
can
she-
watch. We don't watch that one. I'm too busy doing Candlepin Bowling shows
Well, that's true.
and watching them on
I
YouTube.
mean, how many shows are you doing a week?
I'm doing like 14, 15 straight days right now.
You and I were corresponding the other night, and you were just getting to bed at 5 o'clock when I was getting up.
I can't
Is
sleep
that
sometimes.
typical
No,
in Paul
sometimes.
Grant's world?
When I can't sleep, I get a lot of my mind on preparing for a match,
Yeah.
getting amped up for it. So 9 for Desrocher, 56 through 6, down 14 in the string, 22 in the match. Yeah, I got to bed early the last couple of nights, not last night, the other 2 nights.
That was a beautiful ball. It faded just at the last second. Didn't take as much as she had hoped. And what's that, the hay baler?
Call it the hay bale.
Hay bale left. I don't remember Don Gillis using that one, so I got to get caught up to date
I
on
looked it up online. Do a lot of research. Leads up to 2 and the 5.
So she's down 14. She's up 14 in this match. Deb had a really great chance with a couple of spare leaves and hasn't connected yet with a mark.
9 for Mario, 79 through 7. Let's get some play-by-play to Mike Morin.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What, you got to go to the bathroom?
No, I always go before.
Oh, you
I always
do?
do my piece before.
You gave me like 4 gallons of water to drink, so
I know.
I'll sip it gently. All right, well, there you go. What do we call that? You've got the, I think it was the 5-pin that slid over.
I call it the rearranged 5-pin.
Is that it? So what happens here is I think if she's got to really hit it dead on to have a good shot at it, it's basically the 3-9 with the 5.5 pin. Well, there you got a better look now at the 5-pin, which moved over probably 7 or 8 inches. And all you got to do is just, I would think, touch the 5.5 pin here to take out the 9.
Yeah, it's been harsh a few times for Mario. She's had a few thin hits on the head pin, and it's resulted in those back pin leaves.
Well, there you go. She did pick it up for a 10 box. And now we've got Deb Desrocher up on lane 2.
We got a special broadcast tomorrow. King of the Hill in Agawam Bowl, Agawam, Mass. Jim Feely and Justin Thayer putting a great job. Usually 8 to 12 bowlers. Their past high was 21. 44 expected bowlers. A record crowd. A fundraiser for Candlepins for Cancer.
Wow.
And the WOW shirts. 1 o'clock tomorrow on Candlepin Bowling Network. Agawam Bowl, Agawam, Mass. Drew Steele also there with a call with myself. Deb Desrocher, it's the 4 horsemen left. The 1, 2, 4. So in Millis, Massachusetts, I call this the Kamrowski special after Rick Kamrowski. I made that shot a few times. He said I used to make that shot all the time. So I used to put $1 in the pool every time I got one. And then inspired the lemon drop pool, the 4 and 6 pin shot.
Wow.
And so I caught the Kamrowski special. Rick, 69 years old, bowled him for years in the Friday Night Mixed League. Deb 8, 64 through 7. Back to Mike.
So Deb Desrocher, when she's not bowling, is a crafty person. She works at Michael's, and before that at AC Moore.
I thought you meant craft beer. Craft beer.
Well, you know, maybe she should try that before bowling. Would that be helpful, do you think?
I don't drink. Never got the taste down.
You don't drink anything?
No, I like good chocolate milk though once in a while. I drink water most of the time.
What do you do that causes trouble? Anything?
My mouth.
Well, another tough box, only 8 for Deb, who is falling further behind. She's down 17 in this game. Not much of a chance unless she strings a couple marks together to win the $25 for this single game.
3-string total pinfall determines the winner to face Shannon Scribner next.
All right, there's your 6-9, and she can just hit that strictly on the right side of the 6, or she can fit it in between and maybe get a little help from that piece of pin, of that one pin that's 45 degrees off, and she didn't need the wood at all. Probably would prefer not to have used it, and she didn't. So there's a spare, and that definitely puts it away, and she'll now go into the 10th frame looking for a decent fill. Easily going to be over 100 here, assuming she doesn't throw a couple of gutter balls. She seems like she's definitely dialed in on this lane.
Dynamite bowler. One of the top female bowlers in the game today, Mario Johnson. Mario Johnson. Big spare fill. Almost.
Almost backdoored it. Didn't really need it for the match, for this game to win, but certainly want to pile up as many pins as possible.
I never understood why they call the king pin the 5 pin. If the king is the king, it should be the number 1 pin. I don't know why they put in the 5 pin.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. I think the kingpin got a bad rap. I think there's politics involved. 10 for Mario, nice second string, 117. 95, 117, 212 through 2. Deb Desrocher clips to the 10, back to Mike Morin.
Well, lost the ball on the downswing, went over, just took out the 10, which is often a difficult pin on its own to make, and then you say, well, gee, I just did it with a full rack. That really annoys me. 1, 3, and 6 remain.
So, no bonus money yet, Mike. That means more money for you, right? See, that's a lemon drop over there in lane 5.
Oh, okay, so the
4, the 6 pin.
All right, so there's a 10 box for her. I mean, she does have a chance to hit 100, and I'm sure she would love to get a mark here and do just that, because the game is, the match is not out of reach. She can't win this one. Best she could do is 112 with a triple strike. Little help from the wood in the back, and it leaves the 1, the 2, and the 5. And with very helpful wood.
It's actually the 3 pin on the right. I call it the 2 sometimes, too. I say it wrong all the time, too. I know what it is. I just say it wrong. Missed it. Open 2 strings.
Without my glasses, the pins are a little bit blurry.
I know.
I'm going to claim blindness on
Hey, at least you don't call the head pin the 7 pin sometimes. 890 string. Mario Johnston control the match. 1 string to go on Candlepin Bowling Network. The Candlepins for Cancer Ladder Series first round. The winner of the face number 3 seed, Shannon Scribner. Thanks for watching this great game of Candlepin Bowling. Like, share, subscribe, free on Candlepin Bowling Network. And thanks for watching on the WON Sports Network as well. Paul Grant, Mike Morin with you. Mike, want to do some more commentary, play-by-play?
Certainly, be happy to. So we're at the top of the third and final string of this first match. The winner goes on to take on Shannon Scribner. The winner of that next match will play Glennis McKinley, and then local favorite Amanda Carroll sits atop the ladder. She qualified with a 614. So about 60 pins from bottom to top in the qualifying ladder from 5th to 1st. And the ball just got away from her off to the right, leaving the 1, 3, and the 8. Pretty shot when it goes. I don't know what the percentage is on that one, Paul, but I don't think it's that high.
No.
Hey, there we go.
It's high now.
I reverse jinxed her.
That's right. You 1 for 2 now.
Now, if I shout out a wow, do I owe you?
I should get royalty. I'd be rich if that were the case. I get royalty fees.
I think you ought to work that into your next contract.
I know. What contract?
People in Maine not treat you well enough already, Paul?
People in Maine treat me like gold up here.
People love you up here.
Yeah. They don't see me that much. They're not used to me yet. They're not sick of me yet.
Got his own parking space out front here at the Big 20.
I didn't drive through the building.
This is a great bowling center, I have to tell you.
It's a tougher house, though, but it's a very good, clean facility.
All right, so I bowled here during the summer, and I'll share the story here when we have a moment.
Mario 19 through 2 here in the third.
Which is not a bad start. I mean, what does she have for a lead so far through 2 games?
She's up big. She's up 45.
45, all right. So that's at least 4 to 5 marks that Deb
Correction,
Desrocher,
35.
So she still needs at least 4 marks. And then Mario not doing so well. Tough day for Deb Desrocher.
Spares and strikes are out of stock at the warehouse for Deb Desrocher.
Yeah, I think we're still waiting for her first mark, correct?
Yes.
There's a nice shot. Oh! Ball faded to the left, just a bit missing the head pin, which I think would have taken it if it just would have touched the
I'm anticipating your first wild today.
My first what?
I'm waiting to hear your first wild today. It's going to be a great shot, obviously, to make it.
Am I allowed to use that?
Yes, you are. I won't charge you royalty fees either. Why don't you buy another wild shirt? No.
She turned her hand over on the release there, and they're still falling. Looks like about 4.
Those on WON Sports Network, Candlepin Bowling actually started in 1880, 15 years before 10-pin in 1895.
Well, of course, now just to be completely transparent, 10-pin bowling actually goes back to the Egyptian times, or a variation of it.
Yeah.
But I guess probably the governing organization is what you're referring to.
Yes.
Oh. So, a 9-box. Her pinning today has been pretty good, but her spare shooting with the possible spares, not so good. Sorry, Deb.
And a big hole here in the third. Number 5 seed looking to move up to face number 3, Shannon Scribner. Shannon, a 573 qualifier. Mario Diamond plus the 7. Back to Mike Morin.
So there you go. That's the dinner bucket, or the diamond on the right, and the 7-pin over in the corner. But a piece of wood that, if she hits it right, could take it all down. Not quite enough on it. Boy, that was a great try. That was almost wow.
She likes to ham it up to the crowd, too. She's a character.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. A big money bowler, too.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. She won the first women's money match we did in Exeter last spring with Maddie Kelly. Thrilling match.
Oh, wow.
On Candlepin Bowling Network.
What,
She's not bowling the women's doubles event, so I'm on a case about bowling this year, September 9th.
Now, how do you hit the left pocket like that and leave the back row in the 6?
It's a funny game, isn't it?
Not too funny for her at the moment.
It's like candlepin bowling for 10-pin bowlers out there. It's like golf. It's very skillful, challenging, yet rewarding, but you got to earn it. You don't get those give me 9 and 10 drops.
Well, we were talking earlier about how people bowl bad and then blame the bowling center, whereas the game is meant to be very difficult and challenging, and it's not easy. Are you going to blame the bowling center when you do well? I hope so.
They never tip the bowling center when they do well.
No.
9 for Mario, 38 through 4 here in the third, final string.
As I watch this, it doesn't seem like a really difficult house, and it's certainly not an easy house. I'd put it right there in the middle. I've only bowled here once. But back to the match at hand. Deb Desrocher got a whole bunch on the left with the 10-pin in the corner.
Here's the 1-7-10 high-low jack. A bowling center in Augusta, Maine, owned by Mark Carrier, brand new owner.
Oh, yeah?
It's a nice name for a bowling center, but a lousy leaf. The old Channel 5 showed, we call it the high-low jack. Chris Sargent won over $7,000. He was in one of our ladder series recently with Sean Baker, you saw on WON Sports, Candlepin Bowling Network.
He won how much?
He won over $7,000 back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, 1-7-10 high-low jackpot.
On the 1-7-10?
Yep.
I didn't know it ever went that long without being hit.
Sure did. Deb Desrocher needs a mark.
Well, he had the highest triple we ever had on Candlepin Stars and Strikes, at least during the era that Dick Lutzke and I hosted.
I believe.
I want to say 495.
Okay.
It may be 97. You're the stat man. You're probably right. All right, she's got to make this one.
Yeah, definitely needs a mark. Missed it. Has the 2 and the 4. Back to Mike.
How do you play this one? You just go, close your eyes and go for the middle, just like that.
I just go for the 2.
Oh,
like that, just like that. Open your eyes, Mike.
Did she make it?
She made it.
She did, yeah.
Take the blindfold off.
All right, still waiting for that first spare for Deb Desrocher.
Deb can still win $25 for winning the string, but she's in a big hole here in the match.
Well, that's true, but she has not had the lead at all today through 24 boxes of Candlepin bowling from the Big 20 here in Scarborough, Maine on Route 1.
Mario, 38-pin lead, looking good here to advance, but anything's possible in this game.
The wood is not exactly positioned where she would like it. So this would be difficult no matter where she hits the object pin. Probably want to hit it on the wood on the left. Well, make a liar out of me.
1 for 3. 1 for 3.
I know. That was a great shot. Not the way I would have thought it would go. But when you look at the score sheet, it all looks the same.
Beautiful shot. Look at this. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
That's a reverse wow. That's a
bad wow.
No, you got to turn it upside down. That's a mom.
I call this, you could call this 2 triangles in a sense. You have the 4, 7, 8
True.
in the middle.
Yeah.
You have the 5, 8, 9. So I call it a triangle. A double triangle, I guess. Double triangle. Good effort. 5, 9, and 10. Back to Mike.
Well, just probably the best she'll do is hope for a 9. She's got a comfortable lead. She now needs to get dialed in for the next match against Shannon Scribner, who will not go markless for the day, I don't think, as her opponent today, Deb, has.
She's a fierce competitor. She's won a lot of titles.
I really enjoyed watching her on the women's doubles.
You got to watch that show, folks, on Candlepin Bowling Network. The women's doubles event, Extra Lanes, September 10th, 2021.
No spoiler alert, but you do need to watch it to the end. Come on, one more for her.
Mario's 59 through 6. Deb needs a monster finish to advance.
Yeah, hoping that one pin would roll over a little closer to the 4 pin so she could actually have a better shot at it.
We'll talk to both bowlers before we sign off and get ready for our next match with Shannon Scribner.
Got some good bowling ahead for you, ladies and gentlemen. Shannon Scribner, Glennis McKinley, and Amanda Carroll waiting in the wings to take on, looks to be Mario Johnson.
25 boxes without a mark. Rare sighting for Deb Desrocher. 120 league bowler in her heyday. 98 right now. Brilliant in the qualifier. 563.
That was a well-released ball.
This is a check mark, right? 5 to the left, 3, 6, 10 to the right.
Hit it on either side of the object pin, which is the 3.
And it won't go.
Didn't quite get enough of it. The crowd cheering for her to do well in the remaining frames. The 6 stands alone, and it remains.
Down 59-54, 4 boxes to go in this first of 4 matches today. WN Sports, later on you'll see the second ladder series. This is 5 versus 4, the opening round, the inaugural Women's Candlepins for Cancer roll-off. Top 5 show on Candlepin Bowling Network. WN Sports.
Sorry about that, Paul. A couple observations. I mean, first of all, Mario Johnson's getting stronger as she goes. Only left 3 pins standing in that second string. Has only left 5 so far. Although for Deb Desrocher is finding the range, unfortunately, a bit too late. But those last 2 boxes are particularly harsh there. 2 great head pin hits. And unfortunately, despite following accuracy, no marks to show for it.
Another 5-10 special. And now that's a clean Matt Susi special. Matt Susi special. That works with Lita Lanes in Ashton, New Hampshire.
I don't think people realize how much space is between
There's
the
a lot.
pins. It's amazing.
1 for an 8. You just look at a bowling, look to your right or your left, you can see how far apart those pins are. 67 through 7. Back to Mike to finish up the match.
All right, so here we go for a big finish for Mario in the 8th frame. Well, another great hit and a head scratcher for a leave. The 6, the 7, and the 8. Yes, it can be made. A lot of luck needed.
I mean, 6, 7, 8, they're consecutive, right?
There you go. That would win you some money at blackjack. That'd be 21.
I think you should get bonus when you make a shot like that.
Well, how much money you got on you?
Checks in the mail.
Mail it soon. Postage is going up to 63 cents in about a week and a half.
Remember, it's 2 cents growing up. I'm getting old. 7 for Mario, 74 through 8 here in the final string. In control of the match. Deb will just try to win the string at $25. Still looking for her first mark. Has a diamond. She'll get $200.
So what's the pro
Not bad money bowling
percentage?
3 strings.
What's the pro percentage on this? I don't know if you know it off
It's
the
about
top of your head.
27% for pro bowlers. The old Channel 5 stats. Without wood. Leaves up the 2 and the 5.
Yeah. And this is not as easy as it looks either, especially a difficult day that Deb has had. I think she's got it. There you go.
With the uprights.
She's thinking it was so easy.
Down 3 in the string. Match is out of hand now. So Mario
let's
Johnson, not official yet, but more than likely is going to advance to face Shannon Scribner. Not official yet, though.
She takes it off the sheet. What, 124?
Yep. There's a good ball there. 8, 6-10, spare chance, 51% success rate.
I predict a spare on this shot.
All right.
Did I just jinx
Well,
her?
it might be 2 for 4, or will it be 1 for 4? Stay tuned. And there it is.
Wow!
All right. Royalty fees. Mike Moore, the official wow.
Well, it took
Good for
Deb
her.
28 boxes to get her first mark, but didn't that feel good?
But doesn't look at her spirit. She's not sulking like some bowlers. We get all
No.
mad, pouty, and look at her smiling.
She could still get some bonus money.
$25 to win the string, and $200. Not bad. $200 for 3 strings. That's better than minimum wage, especially in New Hampshire.
Got a cluster there. I think it goes.
Absolutely, good chance here. 3, 6, 10, the 9, hiding behind the 3. Looks good, and got it for the back door. Just the way she drew it up.
Crowd enjoyed it. Boy, great crowd here today, Paul.
Yes, there is. Capacity crowd almost.
And it doesn't hurt that a lot of the bowlers are Mainers as well. It draws a local crowd.
Yeah, 74 apiece going to the final 2 boxes. Now a spare. 84 in the ball through 9 for Mario Johnson. 6 in the spare. 90 through 9.
So she's got 100 right now if she doesn't do anything, but she will. B10 something, unless she gets a spare.
Good effort. Oh, right behind the 4-pin. So close.
That wasn't right.
$10. 100, 3rd string. 312 total.
She probably feels, I think she feels grateful to win with a 312. I don't know that'll be good enough for the next match.
No,
Quite
probably
honestly.
not. Probably not. But anything can happen in Candlepin Bowling. You could see a 400. You know, Amanda Carroll bowls here. She got a 614 the qualifier. It's her first 600 in 2 years.
Well, that's a mess out there.
Deb 3 in the spare will need another mark to win the string and take at least $25 extra in bonus money. She cannot win the match. 77 through 8. So Mario Johnson, number 5 seed, moves on to face number 3, Red Hot Shannon Scribner, next on Candlepin Bowling Network and later on the WON Sports Network. 7 box, 84 through 9. So again, needs a mark with 7 to win the string.
She can still win it. You're right, Paul. Love for her to do that.
We'll talk to both bowlers after this too. Deb, tough 5-2 split.
Ball just drifted again a little too far to the left. It looked like it was headed for the number 1 pin, and then it took a left-hand turn, took out 3.
Donations are encouraged. Candlepins number 4, Cancer.com. Candlepins number 4, Cancer.com. And that's a friendly shot. And Mario's
Don't hurt
going
him,
to
she says.
win 3 strings and win $75 extra, and she'll move on to the next round. $350 for the runner-up in the next round. $1,200 for the overall winner. Nice out. 892. Drops at 192. The final score. Mario Johnson 312, Deb Desrocher 269. We'll talk to the balls in just a moment on Candlepin Bowling Network and WON Sports New York. We'll go talk to the balls now. Hi. Mike, you talk to Deb first.
Certainly. Come on over, Deb. You've had more fun days, I take it.
I have. Today wasn't my best.
But it still feels good. I mean, you've been bowling at a high level for a lot of years. You can still bring it. And you did with Glennis in that doubles match. Talk a little bit how exciting that was.
That was awesome because it's been a really long time since I've won anything like that. And Bo was my friend, my best friend. It was awesome.
Well, thank you for being here today. And
Appreciate it. That's all that counted.
all right,
I
thanks.
just want to say one thing, Deb. You're a class act. You did over 70 pins over your average to get here to this series today. Here's a check for $200 for coming on.
Much.
Thank you for bowling. We'll see you down the road. And don't forget, you got to defend your title September 9th for the women's doubles event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, let's talk to the winner, Mario Johnson. Give it to you, Mike.
All right. You knew you had it all along, right?
I tried.
All right, so 312, well under your average.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to need for Scribner and the other bowlers if you continue to proceed?
Hopefully when I'm hitting the head pin, I'm going to get some more action. I mean, I've been leaving the back row the whole day.
I don't understand that. You hit so many great pocket shots and left the back row with some other pins.
I did. It's a little frustrating, but you just have to just keep doing it.
Well, we have money and the right to move on to the next match.
I'm excited.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So Mario won all 3 strings, so $75 in bonus money, $350 to the runner-up next round. Good luck next round against Shannon Scribner.
Thank you.
So Paul Grant, Mike Morin, Mario Johnson, Deb Desrocher, and Gary Gouillart, thank you for watching this great game of Candlepin Bowling on Candlepin Bowling Network. Stay tuned next for the number 3 seed, Shannon Scribner, against number 5 seed, Mario Johnson. Thank you for watching this great game of Candlepin Bowling.